Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome every one of you. Welcome to this very exciting virtual event to announce and honor the inaugural round of International Healthy Longevity Catalyst awardees. I'm Victor Zhao, the president of the U.S. National Academy of Medicine, and it's my great honor to be presiding over this great event. Before I get started, I want to extend many thanks to our partners and sponsors of the Healthy Longevity Grand Challenge. And of course, none of this would be possible without your support, dedication to extend the human lifespan and health span. Particularly, I want to thank my team, Elizabeth Finkelman, Michelle Topless, and Laura DiStefano for putting this event together. I know it's a lot of work to coordinate this globally. A huge thank to all of our, can I have the next slide, please? So first, a huge thanks to all of our global collaborators. You hear from them directly today. They have been working with the NAM to design, launch, administer the Catalyst Awards in 2020 and over the next 2 years. So thank you. And thank you to our sponsors as well, Johnson & Johnson Innovation, the principal corporate sponsor of the Catalyst Awards in US. Also to John and Valerie Rowe, or Jack Rowe as we know him, Martin Rothblatt and United Therapeutics Corporation, Jun Yoon and Kimberly Bazar, and John A. Hartford Foundation. We also want to thank the American Federation for Aging Research for the instrumental support and administration in round 1 of the Catalyst Award. And last, certainly not the least, the Healthy Longevity Competition Design Committee and Selection Committee for developing the competition framework led by Tachi Yamada and Bob Horwitz. And of course, they've been working for the last several years to make it happen. So thank you very much. So let's get started. Let me show you the next slide. I think we're here to celebrate the fact that life expectancy is going up in the world. And over the last century, there's near doubling of life expectancy. And this doubling is the result of better public health, hygiene, nutrition, and medicine, and overall improvement in society. And we're very happy about this. Next slide. Now, what you see today in this global map or graph up there on the upper right corner is that there are more people over 65 than under the age of 5. More people like me than like my grandchildren. If you look at the green graph, you see that it's the 65-year-old continues to go up, whereas the blue graph shows you, the blue line shows you the less than age 5. And in 2019 and 2020 is when these two graphs cross. So you can see that going forward, there'll be a lot more people over 65 than the younger population of less than age 5. What you see in the bottom of this graph, slide is the population pyramid. In 1970, as expected, at the base, there's a lot more younger people than people older. But in 2019, you can see this is beginning to look like the Empire State Building. And I guess going forward, you see this as a triangle or even an inversion, as you see in Japan and a few more society that's aging. Now, aging is a good thing in my opinion, but it does impact how families, communities, societies, and industry and economies function. As you can see on the left-hand side of the slide, of course, older people associated with more chronic disease, hypertension, diabetes, osteoarthritis, cancer, and Alzheimer's. And therefore, it puts a strain on the healthcare delivery system and then certainly increases the cost of care. Family structures and relations are being affected with this change in demographic, social infrastructure, social insurance and retirement programs, and certainly the workforce, as we here see a lot more people retiring after age 65 than the younger population entering the workforce. Next slide. Now, so most people think that getting older is a burden. It doesn't have to be this way, because if we improve the health span of the older population, then you have a population of more productive, happier people, and it can actually address many of the issues that I just said earlier. The question is the world prepared? According to CSIS, the Global Aging Preparedness Index, and the Help Age International Global Age Watch Index, we have very mixed results. Few countries have made significant progress in reducing the magnitude of older age dependency burdens. Some countries do well in one, but not in others. And some people have begun to act, and many really haven't even started. So this leads to the need for preparation financially, socially, and scientifically for longer lifespan is a global imperative. Next slide. So our initiative is about health longevity. It's a global grand challenge. Challenge not in a negative way, but challenge in a positive way. Because if aging is going to be the defining challenge of the 21st century, and living longer is reality, the challenge is to live healthier. By staying healthier longer, we can improve lives of millions of people. And we must have a healthy, productive elderly population for society to continue to prosper and thrive in the coming decades. So this whole area is in need of leadership everywhere. And that's what we're doing. We're getting leaders from all over the world, collective to work to make an impact. Next slide. So for that reason, the National Academy of Medicine US thought of a global grand challenge. And as I said, I've been so fortunate and so thankful for my friends and collaborators around the world to join us to create truly a global initiative. Because this grand challenge wants to address comprehensively the opportunities and challenges offered by global population aging, but address factors such as social, economic policy, and others that influence the older population and their health, but important to catalyze breakthrough ideas and research that would extend the health span of the older population and generate transformative and scalable innovation everywhere so that we actually have new ideas, new technology, new medicines, new breakthroughs that can improve health span. So the overall idea is to promote a system approach to health and longevity by encompassing health and medicine, social determinants, economics, research, innovation, policy, working all together synergistically to achieve the promise of healthy longevity. Next slide, please. So the Health Longevity Grand Challenge has two components. The left-hand side is the roadmap, which is a comprehensive study to look at the opportunities and challenges presented by global aging, but look at solutions, the necessary directions to improve health, productivity, and quality of life. So this truly international report, co-chaired by Linda Fried of the United States and John Wong of Singapore, consists of people, commissioners from every continent and many countries. And together, they're scoping the world to look at what are the best models, what's the evidence, and begin to put together this report as a roadmap to advise policymakers, decision makers, practitioners, how to improve health, social well-being, and also science and innovation. The area I want to talk about today is on the right-hand side, which is the global competition, because we also feel that creating a movement of innovators and researchers to catalyze ideas, breakthroughs that can extend health span is the way to go. By mobilizing all the great minds of the world, see this as a challenge to achieve transformative and scalable innovation in healthy aging and longevity, and to build a broad ecosystem of support. I'm going to tell you more about this particularly part of the Grand Challenge. Next slide. So the whole idea of a competition is a multi-year, multi-million-dollar international competition to catalyze transformative ideas and breakthrough innovations that will extend human health. And it's very broad because we recognize it's going to be about physical, mental, social health, well-being. That's what we want to achieve. and also improve function for people as they age. So we're not only cutting off at 65 and older, we think the entire lifespan is important as we improve the health span. So an entire life course, if you will, on physical, mental, social well-being, and function. So we're looking for ideas in prevention, molecular pathways, mobility, functionality, connectedness, even urban planning and policy, and more. And you're going to hear some of this really great innovators who's been chosen that cover these areas. And it's open to innovation from any field, biomedical, engineering, social science, you name it. Next slide. So in thinking about breakthrough, we came up with a grand prize idea, an inducement prize of $4 million or more for those who achieve breakthrough. But in order to stimulate more people entering the field to be competitive for this grand prize, we came up with this pyramid, the scheme or architecture. At the bottom is a large base of innovators and entrepreneurs competing for the catalyst phase, which we have just started, and we're going to announce winners today. This will go over 3 years and may be renewable for multi-years. Then for those winners, they'll be eligible for the Accelerator Award, and you're going to hear from some of the sponsors of that award that will provide anywhere from $300,000 to several $1 million in order to accelerate proof of concept towards reality, to possibly commercialize this. As I always say, it's doing good and doing well, because these products can reach the market and there's a silver economy out there. And then eventually, in a few years, we'll open up for the grand prize for the breakthrough. So that's the design of our competition. Next slide. Now, we launched it almost exactly a year ago. You can see that this international presence of leadership, many people are actually on the Zoom meeting today, opened and launched this meeting with speakers from everywhere. Leaders, such as the ones who are on today, all helped us launch this important event. Next slide. And of course, we've gone forward with the competition and of course now the awardees. This slide shows you the 8 funding agencies across the world on the right side who supported this. Academia Sinica from Taiwan, Japan Agency for Medical Research and Development, the Chinese Academy of Medical Sciences, the European Innovation Technology Health Branch of the European Union, the Ministry of Health and National Research Foundation of Singapore, United Kingdom Research and Innovation, United States National Institute for Aging, United States National Academy of Medicine, and more. And in development and conversation is Hong Kong, and future targets are Africa, Australia, South America, India, and others. But this 8 funding groups, entities, together represent about 50 countries and territories. And for the Catalyst Award today, we raised $30 million. You'll hear that the Accelerator Award even more, and I already mentioned the Grand Challenge. Next slide. The Grand Prize. So the Catalyst Award is a coordinated effort globally. Our global collaborators all chip in and fund their Perspective Award in their own country to activate more innovators in their own country, but it's work under the coordination of the NAM. We develop shared guidelines, selection criteria, and the application format is the same, short 2-page application, where we want to encourage bold ideas. So section 1 is, what's your idea? Why is it so innovative? And why is it potentially transformative? And section 2 is, how do you test or implement your idea? Simple 2 pages, not the long NIH application. And we have a multi-step double-blind review process that includes an innovation review, how innovative it is. We have a simplified process of assigning score, and the criteria is all innovation, impact, quality, and scope. Then we have a subject matter expert review conducted by the expertise of AFAR using criteria of scientific merit and feasibility. And we're all agreed to adhere to a common theme and timeline. And that's why we're all launching it today. Next slide. So I'm very pleased to tell you that the timeline of the award, which is going next year again, the same cycle, starts with announcement coming up very shortly, the application period between January to February, and a multi-step review process from February to June. And then we bring everybody together, the global collaborators, to review the portfolio together in late June or July, and coordinate announcement in July. This year, because of COVID, we're doing it in October. But next year, hopefully it'll be July. And then once a year in September, we bring together the winners along with many others, industry, investors, and academia, to have an innovation summit to, in fact, look at how to have interaction, learning from each other, and how to move many projects forward. So, as I said, in round one this year, we had pandemic-related delays. So now we are actually announcing it today. Round 2 and 3, the global collaborators plan to realign activities with established timeline, as I showed you earlier. Next slide. My final slide would be to say we're so excited that we receive over 1,500 applications globally. Now, this number is quite astounding, being the first round. As I checked with Tachi Yamada, who actually initiated the Gates Foundation Grand Challenge, the equivalent to Campus Award, they receive about 500 or so a year. So it's very exciting. And we chose 154 awards. As you can see, throughout the various collaborators, they've chosen a specific number, and I'm going to leave that for them to tell you about this. Suffice to say, I'm very grateful to them, very excited. And there's a wide range of topic ideas represented with considerable focus on basic biomedical science, medical technology, and digital health. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very exciting day. And we are just so excited to find out who won and how that's going to be impacting the world. And so let's get started. So I would say that, as you hear, there's so many exciting ideas, and my colleagues from around the globe will tell you about this. So without further ado, let me then turn to them. First, it's my great honor to ask President James Liao at the Academia Sinica in Taiwan to announce the winners. So thank you, Jim. And the floor is yours.
Thank you, Victor. We are very happy to participate in this Healthy Longevity Grand Challenge. And let me first give you a 30-second introduction of Academia Sinica. Next slide, please. We are the highest level national lab in Taiwan, and we have 32 research institutes and research centers across 3 divisions, namely math and physical sciences, life sciences, humanities, and social sciences. Next slide, please. And this year, we received 118 proposals, and we first reviewed them administratively. And during the first round of review, we cut down to 101. And then the second round of review, we cut down to 17. Among 17, then we selected 5 awardees, which I will briefly introduce in the following. Next slide, please. So the first awardee comes from Industrial Technology Research Institute in Taiwan. They are focusing on applying artificial intelligence to diagnose Alzheimer's disease in the early event. As we all know that the difficulty for diagnosing AD, Alzheimer's disease, is to diagnose them early in the stage of mild cognitive impairment and distinguish that from normal cognition And this is a difficult task. If we can diagnose them early, then there will be ways to delay the onset of symptoms and reduce social costs. So this team will develop a technology based on Wi-Fi sensing and non-contact long-term tracking technology for sleep apnea, and apply artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms to detect variations in brain waves and to build an MCI, mild cognitive impairment stage detection model. Next, the next project also is focusing on dementia related detection, and it comes from National Cheng Kung University. And this team will use their particular device, we call it dementia MDIC, to diagnose, again, mild cognitive impairments. And they will apply Internet of Things connections in reducing the needs for emergency and hospital cares for patients and caregivers. And this will facilitate the remote support for patients affected by MCIs. Next slide, please. The third team comes from National Taipei University of Technology in Taiwan. They will develop a mechanical device powered by body exoskeleton device to use to lift people. So healthcare givers can move people around and avoid back injuries. And so they will first focus on the healthcare providers to reduce the risk of musculoskeletal injuries. And this device can also be used in many other professions, as you can imagine. Next slide. So this project comes from National Taiwan University, and they will target microbiota to prevent and treat age-related cognitive decline. So they recognize that dietary restriction in aged patients constitute a large proportion. And it has been recognized that it is an effective anti-aging intervention. However, this dietary restriction may also alter microbiota, and that may in turn affect their age-related cognitive decline. So they are going to investigate this problem and hopefully devise a treatment or a druggable target to take care of this problem. The last project that we funded is also related to microbiota. Next slide, please. So this project comes from Academia Sinica. So it focuses on the aged people who have myocardial infarction. And they recognize that the post-myocardial infarction repair is related to microbiota. So they are going to look into this problem, again, develop a microbiota-based solution to help aged people suffering from myocardial infarction. So these are the 5 projects that we selected. Next, please. And moving forward, the coming year will continue the spirit of supporting this breakthrough innovations. And we will add additional emphasis on disease prevention and management, and of course, response to pandemics. So we look forward to continue to work with all the collaborators on this grand challenge. Thank you very much.
Thank you, James. What an exciting group of innovators that you've chosen. We look forward to following their progress and certainly see them at the Innovation Summit next year. But boy, sure, this is what a group. So thank you.
Thank you.
So next we'll hear from President Yoshinao Mishima from the Japan Agency for Medical Research and Development. He's going to do a pre-recorded video. I don't hear any sound.
Gary, you might have to activate audio sound, share screen.
Hello, everyone. I am Mishima Yoshinao, the president of AMED, the Japan Agency for Medical Research and Development. First of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Dr. Zhou for organizing this Healthy Longevity Global Competition. This program could not be implemented without your leadership. Another special thanks to Elizabeth and Michelle of NAM for their support. Although we all had difficulties with the pandemic, I am happy to be here today for this ceremony with the other global collaborators to announce the Catalyst Award winners. As is well known, Japan is a global leader of the super aging society. Current aging rate is 28.6%, reaching as high as 40% in 40 years. Healthy longevity is arguably one of the hottest subjects in Japan, as well as countries of the global collaborators. Healthy longevity global competition must be an excellent opportunity to seek solutions for our bright future. AMED is the government funding agency for medical research and development. We currently support as many as 2,000 projects over a wide range of scope, from basic life science researchers to very advanced to development towards commercialization. From those ongoing projects, we have honored 44 in-kind winners as the Distinguished Catalyst awardees. If I shortly introduce those projects, their most frequent keyword was medicine, followed by neuroscience, molecular biology, and biology microbiology. All projects are from the academics, mainly focusing on physical, physiological, neurological dysfunction of the human body related to aging, either to prevent, care, or cure these dysfunctions. Most are basic science, but some focus on AI, big data, social science, and public health, which are in line with AMED's main focus. As you see the age distribution chart, the most frequent age group is early 40s, and other distribution resulted in relatively even in every age. The youngest winners of the first round in Japan are 34 years old. Now I will proudly call the names of the 44 winners. Dr. Hayashi, Dr. Yoshitane, Dr. Kimura, Dr. Okamoto, Dr. Shinkura, Dr. Ono, Dr. Nakashima, Dr. Asahara, Dr. Hibino, Dr. Ogura, Dr. Higashitani, Dr. Honda, Dr. Shimizu, Dr. Igaki, Dr. Sato, Dr. Hamazaki, Dr. Kimura, Dr. Hirata, Dr. Masuki, Dr. Ouchi, Dr. Hashimoto, Dr. Kondo, Dr. Tamiya, Dr. Yamada, Dr. Tokuda, Dr. Nakamura, Dr. Niwa, Dr. Kokuryo, Dr. Sugiura, Dr. Hori, Dr. Kawato, Dr. Hanakawa, Dr. Arai, Dr. Saito, Dr. Arata, Dr. Yamada, Dr. Nakamura, Dr. Takizawa, Dr. Arioka, Dr. Nisal, Dr. Ito, Dr. Tsuno, Dr. Watanabe, Dr. Taoka. Well, congratulations to all 44 winners. I hope the best for these 44 winners from Japan, and I wish their further advancement, attracting sponsors around the world. I know several Japanese companies have already shown their interest in the Accelerator Award sponsorship or the next step for the awardee researchers. Again, congratulations to winners from AMED project and to the National Academy of Medicine for completion of the first round of the catalyst phase. We truly look forward to the second and third round to cheer up the succeeding researchers and flourish the human society with brilliant, healthy longevity. Have a nice day, everyone.
Thank you very much, President Mashima, for your leadership. 44 awards, that's a great number. And I look forward to meeting all of them in person next time I come to Japan. So thank you again. Next, I'll turn over to President Chen Wang of the Chinese Academy of Medical Sciences. Chang, over to you.
Yeah, it's so nice to have this chance to have a brief introduction to the action of Chinese Academy of Medical Sciences. I'm the president of this academy. My name is Chen Wang. And next slide, please. So we have a very good joint collaboration between the National Academy of Medicine and the Chinese Academy of Medical Sciences. So we are so glad to have this chance to have a collaboration in the field of healthier longevity global competition. Next slide. So it's because there's a there's a healthier China 2030 national plan for promoting health conditions in Chinese population, and the health longevity has been integrated with this national program. So you know, in China, is at this time the poverty problem has been resolved, and also the hunger problem has also been resolved. But other many healthy problems we have to face into in this at this time and in future. So and also the aging problem is a very severe situation we have to face into at this time. So it's have a great significance to join this healthy longevity competition. Next slide, please. So we also is a pre-active aging strategy we are in action at this time. And in the past 10 years, past decades, many actions we have taken for promoting the health conditions for Chinese population, and including for the aging people population. So many actions we have taken. And it's our great pleasure to have this chance to have a collaboration between the American Academy of Medicine and the Chinese Academy of Medical Sciences. So we also to join this competition. Next slide. Here, this slide shows the timeline of CAM's Catalyst Award. It's a pity because of the outbreak of pandemic of COVID-19. So this schedule has been delayed in the past several months. And the first step of this competition is from September 28th to the October 17th. And this phase is the attraction and application phase. So including call for actions and website and the WeChat platform. And so over 310,000 papers reviewed, and over 8,000 emails sent from CAMs to nationwide collaborators. And the second phase of this of our action is from the October 18 and to the November 20th is this year for review and evaluation. And also these procedures will be taken in this field, including round one, remote review, and round two, face-to-face review. And also we have, and at the month of the December, and this will be, and the result of this competition will announce them, and will show who is the winner of this competition. So, it's we focus on new concept and a new technology and new products and new strategy for solve the aging problems in China for health China. Next slide, please. So over 100, so totally 124 applicants were received in 10 days, covering 17 provinces in China. And for the application, the deadline is in October 17. That is the day after tomorrow. So and many emails, we have applications, and we have gauge from different provinces, and we can show, and this can show in this table. Next slide. It's for the distribution of applicants' affiliations from the hospital is 46%, and from 16 from university, and 16% from industry, and 22% from research institute. So hospital applicants almost account for half of the total number. And also from the picture in the right side, we can see a distribution of applicants show that it's the age of applicants span and mainly featured by young and middle-aged researchers. Next slide. So if talking about the field the applicants focus on, including that for basic medicine, it covers 32%, including the field of cancer and other diabetes, neuro diseases, and I can show in this slides. And from digital health research, including AI in health, VR in health, big data, data management and modeling is 28%. And for technology is 21%, including diagnosis technology, training technology, healthcare technology, and wearable devices. And for clinical medicine, it's 13%. And for public health, it's 60%, including health management strategy and intervention, something like that. So it's a research field. Next slide. So and sorry for delay of this for promoting of this competition. So we send our congratulations to the global awardees and the CAMS and the Chinese Academy of Medical Sciences. We will continue making joint efforts for global collaborations in boosting healthier longevity innovators, strategies, and transformative breakthroughs. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chang, very much for your leadership. I know you've been very busy as one of the leaders in China to address the COVID-19 or the coronavirus. So we look forward to hearing your selection and getting you more engaged than ever going forward. So thank you.
Yeah,
now we're going to move from Asia to Europe, and we're going to hear from Kurt Holler, who's the Director of Business Innovation at the European Innovation Technology in Health of the European Union. Kurt, over to you.
Thank you so much, Victor. Thanks a lot, and it's an honor for us to also be part of that grand challenge. First slide, please, or next slides. So EIT Health, not everyone around the globe will know about EIT Health so far. We have been established in 2016, and the ambition is to foster innovation and entrepreneurship in the healthcare domain. And so far, through our innovation pillar, we have already supported 87 products or services to get to the market. We have supported 755 startups in our Accelerator pillar, and through our education pillar, we have supported and trained 129,000 citizens and patients, and have established lots of master courses, professional and executive courses. Next slide, please. So for us, it's a great honor on the one hand, but on the other hand, also a great opportunity to team up with this very special club of collaborators across the globe under the leadership of the National Academy of Medicine. And bringing true science, as we see it in some of the joining academies, together with the institution EIT Health, which on the one hand involves also strong academia. Most of the leading universities, Cambridge, Oxford, TU Munich, Erlangen, and many others, Karolinska, but also the big industry partners like Siemens, Philips, Roche, Sanofi, together with many local actors. So this strong collaboration, I think, is the right setting to support health and longevity. Next slide, please. So how did we implement that? We had already up and running a Head Start competition where we provide 50,000 euro vouchers to very early stage startups or strong innovators. And we use that approach to apply that on the Healthy Longevity Global Grand Challenge. And through that program, we get 652 applications. That was 460 regular applications. And then we just extended the deadline because the deadline was right when COVID-19 has started, and when the first lockdown started. We extended that by another few days and got another 192 applications focusing on solutions against COVID-19. And out of those 650 applications, 400 explicitly applied for the NAM Global Competition. We appreciate that collaboration, and we want to contribute with 20 to 21 Catalyst Awards per year. Next slide, please. So that's the applications that we get from all over Europe. As you can see, actually the leading country was UK, actually including Ireland, but most applications came from our InnoStars region. That includes Poland, Hungary, Italy, Portugal, and some other Eastern European countries. As you can see on the left, most of the applications focus on digital health solutions, but some of them also have a medtech or biotech content. Next slide, please. And as you can see here, diagnostics and decision support is one area, remote monitoring and home care is another area, wearables and medical devices is a third area, and the fourth area is treatments. Next slide, please. Now we move into the announcement of the concrete winners. And unfortunately, I will not be able to tell you detail about the 21 winners. That would just take too long, so I have put several of them on each slide. Let's start with the first batch of 6 winners on the next slide. So congratulations to Epcon from Belgium. Congratulations to Uvando Health from Germany. To Bioadhesive Ophthalmics from France. To SyncSense from Denmark. To Ramp Medical from Germany. And to Vulcur Medtech from Denmark. Congratulations to those 6. Next slide, please. Congratulations also to Idovan from Spain. To Friends Media Group from Poland. To Chronic Care from UK, to NaviBlind from Denmark, to MySurvo from Italy, and to LiveBloom from France. Congratulations to those 6. Next slide, please. Congratulations also to Graphel from France, to Praxis Medical Devices from Ireland, to Volk from the Netherlands, to Boca Healthcare from Germany, Lorton Investments from Poland, and Foreign Project in Spain. Congratulations to these 6. And for the final three, I'd like to go to the next slide, please. Congratulations to Miranda Solutions from Spain, to Byteflies from Belgium, and last but not least, to CranMed Limited from Ireland. Congratulations to those 21 wonderful winners, and we are so much looking forward to presenting them, hopefully as many as possible in the upcoming Congress next year. Next slide, please. I'd like to thank, first of all, Victor, you and your team, together with Liz and Michelle. You did a wonderful job, but I also want to thank Laura and the team on our side. I think that was a wonderful collaboration across the ocean, and very much looking forward to first collaborate also with all the other global contributors, but secondly, also see all the successes out of those companies and startups and innovators that we are supporting all over the globe. Thank you so much, and back to Victor.
Thank you, Kurt. Wonderful to see the interest everywhere in Europe. And really, these are very exciting choices you made. And you already have machinery to help them move along with their findings towards commercialization. And then, of course, you have the winners who have access to some of the Accelerator Award. So thank you very much, Kurt, for your leadership. Now we move from Europe back to Asia. And I want to welcome my good friend and colleague, Professor Tan Che Chuan, who's the Executive Director of the Office of Healthcare Transformation at the Ministry of Health in Singapore. Che Chuan, over to you.
Thank you, Victor. Good day, everybody. And I would say that the Healthy Longevity Global Grand Challenge is such a bold and visionary initiative. And the challenge itself is actually a great innovation. It's a great innovation that brings researchers, innovators from all around the world to work together on a truly important global issue. So I'd like to start by congratulating Dr. Victor Zhao for this great idea, the US National Academy of Medicine, as well as all our fellow global collaborators for taking this exciting concept through many twists and turns and making it such a successful reality. Next slide, please. Well, Singapore is really honored to be one of the global collaborators, and we will be supporting a total of 45 Catalyst Awards over 3 years. And we launched our inaugural grant call in January this year and publicized it very actively to the public, private, and social sector organizations. I should say that these Catalyst Awards belong to a much larger research program, the National Innovation Challenge for Healthy Aging, in which 200 million Singapore dollars, roughly 150 million US dollars, has been dedicated to support research which is translational in nature and supports the different transformational programs in healthy longevity and aging well in place. Next slide, please. We were really delighted that the Catalyst Awards elicited strong interest, and we were particularly excited that the interest came not just from the research community, but also amongst community care providers and industry players. And in the end, we received a total of 103 applications, and this is a bit of a record for us. It's the highest number among the aging-related grant calls that we have launched in Singapore so far. And the applications came from a wide range of disciplines, from neuroscience to artificial intelligence to sociology. Next slide, please. So from these applications, 15 were selected based on the agreed criteria. And as you can see from this table, the majority of them were basic science research programs in life sciences, 12 out of 15, 1 in artificial intelligence, 1 in technology, and we were very happy. We actually had 1 in sociology. And these programs will be funded for up to 24 months. Next slide, please. So I'd like to just run through the winners. I'm sorry that the font is rather small. There won't be time for me to say a great deal about each one of them, but I'll just pick out a number just to give you a flavor of the diversity of research projects that we have approved. The first awardee is Dr. Alfredo Obregon, and he proposes to use magnetic fields to produce mitochondrial and other changes that improve muscle functioning. So this will be something which we're looking forward to as an interesting innovation. The second awardee is Dr. Rajkumar Doraju, who is making use of our 25-year-old Chinese cohort, a cohort that's been studied for 25 years now, and using this cohort to study epigenetic aging and telomere length as potential biological predictors for healthy aging. The third winner is Dr. Roger Fu, then Dr. Haitab Tesana, Dr. Jai Polapali, Dr. Sanjay Khanna, Dr. Tamin Dean, Dr. Marie Veronique Clement, and Dr. Tay Bin Tian, all of them working in basic science, life science research projects. On the next slide, we have the second half of the winners. And the first one, Dr. Anna Tan, is making use of digital technology solutions to try to improve the quality of life for those with vision impairment. The second person on this awardee list is Dr. Angelique Chan. And we are very happy that we were able to award a sociology project, which is looking at patterns of loneliness in Singapore and trying to work out if they can be a basis for effective early intervention. I think this is an issue which is increasingly important in Singapore, as social isolation is something which is increasing with diminishing the size of families and a larger number of older people living alone. Dr. Irene Chia is working on ergothioneine, a nutrient, and trying to explore its role in longevity. Dr. Goh Jor Ming is making use of artificial intelligence to do a personalized exercise prescription. So AI for N-of-1 exercise prescription, which I think would be really quite exciting if their research plays out. Dr. Ko Tong Wei is using a calorimetric sensor array and machine learning algorithms to try to determine if changes in urine metabolites can be used for the diagnosis of Parkinson's disease. And again, if this, which builds on some prior work that the lab has done, if this plays out, it would prove to be very useful. And finally, but not last but not least, Dr. Ajay Siram Maturu, who's looking at Alzheimer's disease. Next slide, please. So I'd like to extend our really warmest congratulations to all the awardees in this first round of the Catalyst Awards. We wish them the very best in their work. We want to thank once again the National Academy of Medicine, our global collaborators, for this successful implementation of the Catalyst Awards. We are really looking forward to the results of the research projects, and also looking forward to this collaboration, working together to make a real impact in advancing healthy longevity. Thank you so much again.
Thank you, Chuan. Thank you for your support and leadership. I still remember the day when I asked you to think about this. We met in the hotel lobby, and you immediately said it's a good idea. And of course, now it's great to see how much excitement there's in Singapore. And I look forward to working with all of you to see the realization of all these great innovations. So now I'm going to move to United States. And it's my great pleasure to ask John Phillips, the Chief of Population and Social Processes Branch of Division of Behavioral Social Research of the National Institute of Aging of NIH. John, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to both briefly describe NIA's contribution to the Catalyst Awards, as well, of course, as announcing the winners. Next slide, please. So just briefly to overview our process, we put out a call for research back in October 2019 under the title of Innovations to Foster Healthy Longevity in Low-Income Settings. The purpose, as stated, was to improve function and quality of life for older populations, especially the disabled living in low and middle income countries, or to improve function and quality of life for low-income, disabled, and isolated older populations living in high-income countries. The mechanism that we use is referred to as a smaller pilot grant. They're called RO3s. They provide support for up to 2 years and up to $50,000 in direct costs a year. The unique aspects of our call was a focus on specifically on older populations and also allowing these projects to connect to caregivers and service providers for the elderly. Next slide, please. So we're conducting a single round of the Catalyst Awards due to the timing of NIH review and award process, as well as the length of the awards. So this is our one shot at Catalyst Awards. We got a very solid response to this call, received numerous applications. A few of them ended up getting dropped by virtue of the fact they weren't responsive, but we had a good response to this call. While we had planned to make 8 to 10 awards, we're very tough graders at the NIH, and we ended up going with 7 of the most meritorious awards. They're listed here. I'd add that Elizabeth Finkelman helpfully put a link in the chat that will allow you to see an abstract and even pictures of the awardees, but I'll just briefly name them here. Dr. Demarest from the University of Pennsylvania, Dr. Madhavanan from the University of Arizona, Bayan Wong from University of Central Florida, Dr. Chung from Virginia Commonwealth University, Dr. Kohler from the University of Pennsylvania, so we had 2 awards from the University of Pennsylvania, Dr. Perlman from the University of Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh, and Dr. Purvu Betker from Duke University. Next slide. Our review process, as I mentioned before, we triaged applications for responsiveness first. Then we organized a special review panel for the purposes of making determinations about the merit of these awards. So we did use a standing panel. One was organized explicitly for this activity. And the review criteria covered things like significance, the investigators, innovation of the project, their approach, the environment they were working in, issues regarding human subjects and inclusion in the samples that they were analyzing, as well as resource sharing, so that all the results that were produced from these projects end up being publicly available for other researchers to replicate the research that's done. All those applications then went through our National Advisory Council for final review, and the funding plan was developed based primarily on scientific merit. And that was the result, as I just mentioned a moment ago. Next slide. So let me briefly try to summarize the awards that we've made. 4 of the awards are conducting research in Tanzania, India, Malawi, and El Salvador. So there were 4 awards to investigators doing work in other countries. 3 were in focusing on low-income populations in the United States. The topics covered were reducing fall risk in low-resource neighborhoods, using sensor monitoring, AI, and a telenurse support, improving physical activity and reducing fall risk using fall risk and fear of falling assessments, contextual adaptation of evidence-based community yoga intervention to address physical and mental health needs, smart speakers to reduce social isolation and loneliness in low-income senior housing, identifying social processes affecting health knowledge and health-seeking behavior related to CBD, cognitive mental health, and chronic musculoskeletal pain due to develop interventions like behavior change and linkages to care, prevent adverse physical, social, psychosocial, and economic consequences of wheelchair breakdowns via sensor and AI to signal repair, contextual adaptation of text telephone intervention with physical therapy to improve management of musculoskeletal pain. So we think this is a great contribution in the Catalyst phase. We're looking forward to the future, and in particular, I hope that the next time we get together, we can meet in person for the purposes of talking about our awards and the next stage of this, this competition. And again, I'd like to thank very much the NIM, in particular, Michelle Toplitz, who was very helpful to us at the NIA in helping us organize our processes and contributing to this activity. Thank you very much to the NIM, and we look forward to the future with this project.
Thank you very much, John, and we thank NIA, NIH for the support. I think it's really quite exciting that you focus on low-income communities and the fact that your grants will actually support work carried out in Africa and elsewhere. It's very exciting. I think so far you can see that despite the fact that we say we're very much alike, that we go through the same process, but in fact, every country may have some different emphasis. I think that diversity is excellent because it allows us to think about the whole breadth of the whole issue of health span, particularly in the older population. So thank you, John. Now I'm going to turn to our neighbor and a good friend across the pond, United Kingdom, and George McGuinness, the director of UKRI's Healthy Aging Challenge, will tell us about their exciting celebration and selection. So over to you, George.
Sorry, Victor, thank you very much for that kind introduction. And actually, some of your remarks are incredibly pertinent to what we're doing. I think one of the lucky things about coming towards the end of the agenda is I've just seen what a fabulous range of awards that are being made from all our collaborators. So the UK's Healthy Aging Challenge is an investment of about $130 million US in research and innovation focused on improving the lives of people as they age. And I'm going to start with giving you some context for our UK award. So if I could have the next slide, please. So the UK government has set the mission, which you see in the sort of blue box on the slide, to ensure that we make the most of longevity by increasing healthy lifespan, exactly what Victor was talking about right at the start. Our competition this year was very broad, open to people from any discipline with the brightest and best ideas, and particularly those that were in some way unusual and they would be difficult to fund from existing revenue streams and in the research world. So the mission on the slide for 2035 meant that actually we're particularly interested in innovations with the potential to impact in that time frame. And that's meant a really strong focus for us on social and behavioral sciences, design and economics alongside technology and wider science. And we were absolutely delighted with the level of interest. And as you see on the slide there, we're going to make 60 awards over 3 years, and this is the first round. So if I have the next slide, this will say a little bit about the process. So we had 70 applications, and about 2/3 of those are from arts, humanities, and social sciences, with the balance coming from science and technology subjects. And there was a really good spread. So we have defined our program around 7 healthy aging themes, which you see on the slides. 4 of those have come through in a very strong way. And I think we frame this in one way that's actually quite importantly distinctive. So when we talk about managing common complaints of aging, although we include things like diabetes and heart failure, we're very interested in things that actually impact on people's ability. So innovations that support, if you like, sight loss, hearing impairment, incontinence, and all those sorts of things that enable people to either take a full part in society or feel isolated. If I could have the next slide then, I'm really delighted to be able to announce our 11 winners. They're a really varied group, and you can see them here. And I'm not going to go through them in detail, but I'd just like to highlight a few of the sort of things that are coming through. One of them is crowdsourcing information to raise standards in care homes, particularly in developing countries, where care homes are rapidly replacing in family care, but the regulatory frameworks have yet to catch up. A number of our projects are focused on improving the experience for people with dementia and their carers, and they include physical activity and support for the work of artists who create tailored experiences. We've got some wearable technology in there, focused on identifying the early signs of sarcopenia, so muscle wasting, common in older people. Some tech-enabled prototypes of smart houses, and we're seeing the built environment generally across our program as a really important part of that, and delighted to see that. And finally, something that is more clinical, a more holistic approach to managing diabetes by applying machine learning to integrate medical diagnostics, physical activity, and cognitive measures. So really to try and bring in the behavioral piece alongside the medical treatment piece. So really huge congratulations to the winners, not least for managing to get these proposals together during the lockdown period. And at a time when actually all research organizations, I think I echo colleagues across the world, where a lot of organizations have been under huge pressure. I also want to sort of pay tribute to all of those who participated, but who haven't been successful. We've learned a huge amount from you and want to make the experience for all applicants even better next year. So if I could have the next slide, please. So what are we sort of looking to do? Firstly, I think we've got an even stronger recognition that this is both about the idea and the entrepreneurs behind it. So we're going to help entrepreneurs do more on their innovation journey during the application process. We've also recognized, I think, that innovations in arts, humanities, and social sciences may have very different journeys and endpoints to a science and technology innovation. And our thinking on impact has broadened from just commercialization and further research to also think about innovations that can give rise to social movements and influence policy. To achieve this, we've partnered with Zinc, an accelerator that's focused on finding brand new ways to solve the most important societal problems faced by the developed world. Zinc are now supporting our first cohort on their innovation journey over the next year. And as part of that, they're going to be facilitating international collaboration. And I still think that this is a really important part of why we're all together today. They're also going to support the application process, making it a learning journey for the applicants, so they get a valuable experience from whatever the outcome. And I'm delighted to say that while formal applications will open later, we've already started the engagement for round 2, and UK-based researchers can register an interest now and be brought into early ideas development workshops. So I'll just round off, really many congratulations to our 11 winners. A sincere thanks to the National Academy of Medicine for leading this great initiative, and all the great work of the teams in the background making this possible today. And finally, to all of you, we look forward to collaborating in the years to come, and look forward to seeing you in DC for the global conference next year. Thank you.
Thank you, George. Thank you very much indeed. You know, your winners, the emphasis on arts and humanity and social science, but also other fields, it's really so relevant. When we think about COVID and how that's impacting the vulnerable population, the elderly, we know that many of these apps and activities are helping them to get through isolation, loneliness, etc. So despite COVID, I think life goes on, all these great activities are going on, but they're also helping the older population in coping with the stresses and making, therefore, their health span improved. So thank you very much indeed. And the issue about collaboration, clearly we are all eager to get together and collaborate with each other. And the support you're giving to us is just wonderful. Thank you. So what we're going to do is now move back to the United States and tell you about our experience, National Academy of Medicine. So that's NIA and NAM, parallel programs, obviously coordinated. And Michelle Toples, who's the program officer, who's been managing the Catalyst Award competition. You heard the names mentioned several times. She's done a great job. She'll wrap up this segment by announcing NAM's Catalyst awardees. Michelle.
Thank you, Dr. Zhao. Like he said, my name is Michelle Toplitz. I'm a program officer at the National Academy of Medicine, and I manage the Healthy Longevity Global Competition. Today, I'll provide you with an update on round 1 of our US-based Catalyst Awards. Next slide. So in round one, the NAM received 572 unique applications from individuals and teams. We ultimately issued 21 Catalyst Awards across a wide range of disciplines. Approximately 55% of the awardees are conducting projects in basic and biomedical science and clinical medicine. Approximately 15 are conducting work primarily in social science, public health, and policy. And approximately 30% of awardees are conducting projects in the areas of data and computer science, health technology, and engineering. With respect to other breakdowns of interest, we have about 1/3 of our principal investigators who identify as female. 1/4 of the principal investigators are early career professionals, which is great. And Catalyst Award-winning teams are located across the United States, hailing from all regions of the country. Next slide. So here are our 21 NAM Catalyst Award winners in round one. A huge congratulations to this really stellar group of innovators. I want to acknowledge that these photos are primarily of the principal investigators on each project, but we do acknowledge that many of the awardees are actually teams. So I encourage you to see photos of the other team members on our website, healthylongevitychallenge.org. Next slide. So on this slide and the next, we present the project titles, the principal investigators, and their respective affiliations. Time won't permit us to read every title or name, but as you can see, the NAM has selected a really diverse array of innovative projects. For example, in clinical medicine and biotechnology, we have the development of an implantable, continuously operating, patient-friendly renal replacement system for transforming home dialysis. In the field of molecular biology, we have projects such as the automated cell profiling platform for anti-aging drug discovery and the anti-aging properties of a new form of non-thermal plasma, to name a few. Next slide. Drawing from the fields of health technology, human-computer interaction, and social science, we have Virtually Young. Can embodying an avatar of your younger self extend your healthy lifespan? And in neuroscience, we have retinal imaging for diagnosis of aging-related brain disorders. As I said, of course, these are only a select few of the really impressive group of bold ideas that the NAM has selected in round one. We invite you to check out these and other ideas in much more detail on our website. Congratulations again to all of these winners. We very much look forward to hearing about your progress as you work to advance these bold and innovative ideas. Next slide. So what comes next for the Healthy Longevity Global Competition? Well, we're just getting started. Round two of the Catalyst Awards begin in January 2021, as Dr. Zhao stated. The NAM and its global collaborators will be administering another cycle of awards and will be accepting new applications for innovative ideas to extend the human health span. We'll follow the same process and general timeline as round one. We are also planning for the first of 3 Innovator Summits, which is scheduled for September 13th and 14th, 2021 in Washington, D.C. Round one Catalyst awardees from around the world will be invited to attend the event, and the summit will offer a really invaluable opportunity to connect with other innovators, leaders in the field of healthy longevity, academic experts, industry professionals, potential investors and entrepreneurs, and more. And finally, the NAM will formally launch the second phase of the global competition, the Accelerator phase, in 2021. So stay tuned for much more information on that in the new year. On that note, I'll turn it back over to Dr. Zhao to speak briefly about the Accelerator phase and some really exciting opportunities ahead. Dr. Zhao?
Thank you very much indeed, Michelle. You've done a super job. And really, from me, thank you for your leadership. So we've now not concluded. We have just told you about the first phase of the Catalyst Award, and it's very exciting. Now, as you heard, these awards offer around $50,000 or more or less as seed dollars to get started. Lots of great idea, younger people, senior people, but just to really bring in bold ideas and ideas that can actually get to the next phase. So as we create this pyramid, we thought if you had some really good discoveries, how do you move to the next phase? That came the idea of the Accelerator phase. The Accelerator is supposed to provide the additional dollars needed to take a nascent idea towards more maturity and reality. And so far, we've been very fortunate to have support from Johnson & Johnson and the European Investment Bank, as well as the Japan Ministry of Economy, Trade and Innovation, and as you heard, the participation of the companies. I should say at the very beginning that we take no intellectual property and no dollars from the winners. They belong to the innovators. The innovators are free, therefore, to look at opportunities to get further funding. And possibly more importantly is the Accelerator phase sponsors are looking for opportunities to help them, because we all recognize in order to scale up and to have impact, you need, in fact, more dollars and possibly commercialization. So with that in the background, the Accelerator phase now is going to be launched, I guess, very shortly. I'm expecting that the Accelerator sponsors are going to look through some of the application of Catalyst Award. Not only the winners, but in fact, many, much bigger 1,500 bases of opportunities. But also importantly, I believe that we probably will allow the current Catalyst winners to have a little more time, like a year to do some of their work, and therefore become even more, shall we say, attractive to Accelerator sponsors. So with that, I would say that I'd like to say that the Accelerator Award are valued at anywhere from $300,000 to over $1 million, and even more, depending on the sponsors. Many of them have made commitments of number of awards per year and how many years. So we're looking very excited to expand this base and to get even more people coming in to support this. Ultimately, I think that our base will be even larger than Catalyst Award. And of course, you can see we're starting a global movement. And importantly, in about a few years, I think 3 or so, we announced the grand prize that the best breakthrough of more than one will receive the multi-million-dollar awards. So with that background, I would say that we won't have the Japanese counterparts to present today, except to thank particularly the Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry and AMED, you just heard, for helping us secure these sponsors. They in fact include 2 Japanese companies at this point, and more are in the works. And they're all interested in just looking at what's exciting. You're going to hear, therefore, from Johnson & Johnson Innovation, from my good friend Bill Haidt, and then also from Kinder Foundation on behalf of European Investment Bank. So with that background introduction, let me turn over and therefore ask my good friend Bill Haidt, who's the Dr. Bill Haidt, the global head of Johnson & Johnson External Innovation, to say a few words. First, I should say that they not only are supporting the Accelerator, in fact, they put in several million into the Catalyst as well. So Bill, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Victor, and thank you, everyone. It's really an honor to be here, and I'm hoping that all of you and your families and colleagues are staying well during these complicated times of a global pandemic. So first, I'd like to congratulate all the award winners and finalists on these very impressive ideas. Why at Johnson & Johnson are we so excited about this? Because we are very interested in diverse approaches to create a longer, healthier future for all of humankind. Like all of you, we're working to change the trajectory of human health. We believe that we must not only create safe and effective medical devices, consumer health products, and pharmaceuticals that treat disease, but our vision is to eliminate disease through prevention, interception, and cures. In many ways, healthy longevity begins by avoiding chronic disease. To achieve this, we've embarked on a journey we call the World Without Disease that aims to understand disease-causing processes, then intervene before illness ever occurs. We have termed this increase in health span immorbidity, living a life free of disease. Because we share this vision with Victor and the National Academy and all of you, we are proud to partner on the Healthy Longevity Initiative, and specifically on the Catalyst Awards that we're talking about today, but as Victor pointed out, also the Accelerators Awards. We do this because we know a great idea can come from anywhere. That's why we think these awards offer an amazing mechanism to identify those great ideas. But as we alluded to, the awards today, this is only the beginning. At Johnson & Johnson Innovation, we're looking forward to the future launch of quick-fire challenges available to those who have competed for the NAM Catalyst Awards. Through these quick-fire challenges, we aim to empower and enable groundbreaking science, medical technology, and healthcare solutions by awarding promising innovators with grant funding, mentorship, access to our JLabs incubator sites, and equity investments, so that we not only identify great ideas, but support the entrepreneurs and innovators behind these ideas to develop them and ultimately bring them to patients and consumers around the world. More details about our quickfire challenges and how Catalyst Award participants can take part in these will be announced very soon. With all of you, we want to help create a global healthy longevity movement through funding of new research that will ultimately lead to novel solutions for aging and freedom from disease, so that someday future generations will look back on us and say, can you believe it? They used to wait until they got a disease before they did anything about it. In closing, we are proud of our collaboration with the National Academy of Medicine and being associated with all of you to bring us one step closer to the goal of realizing a healthier future for all. Thank you. Back to you, Victor.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you for your vision and your leadership. You know, what's exciting in this entire journey that I've undertaken with many of you is to find so many like-minded people who have a vision for the future, who wants to make a difference. And Bill, you're one of them, as is all the global collaborators as well. So thank you.
Thank you.
Now, speaking of an innovator and someone who's got vision, I'd like to introduce Home Keller. Home is the executive chair of the Kinner Foundation. And Home is working closely with the European Union, European Commission, particularly the European Investment Bank, and assisting us in moving this whole concept forward. And so I'd like to ask Home to say a few words at this time. Home?
Thank you very much, Victor. Thank you very much, dear colleagues. It is a true privilege and a personal joy, as well as a huge professional obligation to see all the wonderful work that has been done by the Catalyst Awards. Especially big thanks to the leadership from EIT Health, who is really showing the best of the European Union and is bringing this to your wonderful work and to our excellent cooperation here. In pursuing for the European Union with the next phase of this exciting program, it is my pleasure today to share that the European Investment Bank will grant the right to 5 Accelerator Award winners going forward the opportunity to present their business cases to the European Investment Bank. This would be possible for award winners either from the EU or from low and middle income countries with special impact in these regions. For those who don't know, the EIB is the bank of the member states of the EU. It's actually the largest multinational in the world, larger than the World Bank. Among other activities, the European Investment Bank finances innovative SMEs through non-dilutive venture loans. The smallest ticket size EIB can do is 12.5 million, and they go up to 50 million per company. So we are very much looking forward to seeing relevant, impactful globally thought-leading innovations and to be accompanying those companies to the European investment for a substantive round of funding. And the special thanks goes to the European Commission and to the European Investment Bank for creating this opportunity, but also to the EIT Health and especially Kurt Höller and Jan-Philipp Beck, who have laid the fundament for this by their exciting work they did for the Catalyst Awards. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hong, for your great support. It's really great news that EIB will join us. I think our winners and our innovators will be so excited to have the opportunity to work with J&J, Japan, and of course EIB, and we're looking for even more. So you can see that when we're successful in moving these things forward, I think our base will even grow larger. So it's my sincere hope that my global collaborators will continue to work with us, seeing the success of this program and even expand the base. Because the whole idea is to get innovative movement everywhere, to get scalable, transformative innovation to, in fact, improve health span for people as they age. You know, I'm almost hesitant to say that's the end of our program today, but it is. But I've been so excited I can stay here for a long time chatting with all of you. But I do want to say congratulations to all the Catalyst awardees, and maybe you can all join me in a round of applause. You can't hear this applause very well, but we are excited. We're excited to see how your projects will progress and your ideas become reality over months and years, improving the health, people's health as they age. This is only the beginning of your engagement in the Health Longevity Global Challenge. This is only the beginning of a major movement, a journey we have together to improve health span of all the people in the world. So thank you very much. Thank you to my team. Thank you to my global collaborators. Thank you to our sponsors. But thank you for the innovative entrepreneurs who seize opportunities and are working with us to activate the whole movement of healthy longevity. So thank you. And as a final reminder, everyone should visit our website, healthylongevitychallenge.org, to view the detailed profiles of all the winners, because we didn't have a chance to introduce all of them. And I would say I look forward to meeting all of you in person in September 2021. Thank you.
Thank you
very much indeed. And God bless. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Victor.
Thank you.
Thank you so much again for kicking that off and keeping it rolling.
Thank you.